Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing? It's going to be a good Saturday, right? Right? I sure hope so. We're going to get this started off with some epoxy. Actually, we're going to do some mail first. I got an envelope the other day. I won in a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Nisi over there at Freehandly Made Âû hit her 1,000 subscribers and was having a giveaway. And there was a lot of people that was nice enough to donate prizes. And I was lucky enough to win one. All right. No internet connection. Uh-oh. I mean, don't want to stick my finger up here in front of you guys. One of these days, I will be prepared to do a live. One of these days, just not today. You guys recognize these from a few weeks ago? Well, they took about 2 to 3 days to dry, and then about 2 weeks to cure is what I give it because of the humidity in my area. The painting that I did last week, if you guys seen that, it took 3 days to dry. I put a little bit too much paint on it. All right, where are we at? We are fine here. See if I could find this live, and there it is. So you guys liking this Saturday morning stuff that I'm doing? Is it too early for you? Too annoying? Too long? Let me know in the comments. So Garden State Gardener was nice enough to give Nisi a bunch of stuff for her giveaway, and I was lucky enough to win one of them. Guess I need to switch this over to live chat, right? But I was lucky enough to win one of the prizes. I think she had like 28 of them for some reason. I might be mistaken. I've been to so many lives here lately, and she had a lot of gifts. I do know that, and this was one of them. Bradley, how we doing? Come to see me making a mess before you go to bed. We got some really sticky stuff here today. I'm about out of it, but I still got some. I got a letter too. Well, I got an envelope. I figured we'll see who all gets in here before I open it. How are you doing today? You get anything accomplished? I first thing I had to do this morning was pick some epoxy off of my stirrer paddle here. One thing with epoxy and this latex glue, it doesn't stick to silicone, so it just pops right off. But I'm kind of interested to see what seeds that Garden State Gardener donated to Nisi. So I'm going to use this badass knife that I got from Jason over at Homesteading Northern Michigan and open up this envelope. I don't know why I'm taking care of when I open it. I'm not like I want to use it again. Well, actually, I might. Cut towards my buddy, not my body, correct? Is that how this is supposed to work? Packing so you can move, huh? That's something I never want to do again. It's been 20 years since I've moved, and I've collected so much junk. And I just stabbed underneath my thumbnail. Wow. That hurted. Oh, it looks like I even got a letter. Congratulations from Garden State Gardener. I tell you, oh geez. Garden State Gardener, I believe every Sunday does a live, and he does a bunch of seed giveaways. If you guys want to go stop by there, in the description a little later, I'll go through and fix everything. I'll leave a link to Nisi, and I'll leave a link to Joe over here at Garden State Gardener. Looks like I've got plenty of tomatoes. Try to get these without a glare. Some Big Daddy hybrids. Some Great Lakes lettuce. Looks like some big O heads. Some of these banana peppers. I'm probably going to start these today. I need some of these. I've only planted green and yellow bell peppers, and none of the green ones came up. So we got some spinach also. We got a bunch of that planted. We got some chives. Some jalapenos, which I'll never eat because I don't do spicy unless someone gives it to me. And some, looks like they're going to be rather large, funny looking cucumbers. Well, thanks, Joe. That's a pretty nice packet you've got here for Nisi's giveaway. You're pretty nice. I appreciate it. I know every Sunday, I believe, you do a live and you have a seed giveaway on Sundays. If anybody's got gardening questions or just want to watch gardening, head on over to Joe at Garden State Gardener. And you got some knitting, yarn type stuff. Nisi over at Freehandly Made. She does a clubhouse live all the time. Great people. They take everybody in. Go enjoy. See how they're doing. Morning, Gail. How are you? Just got a bunch of seeds. I won over there at your sister-in-law's. Excuse me. Her 1,000 giveaway. Joe donated some seeds, and I got them in, so I had to show them off. Yes, it is an awesome envelope, and I'm definitely going to get these ones planted right away. It's not too late for peppers down here, I guess. And, of course, Joe being Joe. But what we're all here for is this epoxy stuff, correct? Because I know it took me 2 to 3 days for this to dry, 2 days for this to dry, 3 days for my other one to dry. And then it takes about 2 weeks because of the humidity around here for it to cure enough to put epoxy over the top of it and seal it up. So it's been 2 weeks. We're going to do this. I use a Pro Marine Supplies tabletop epoxy for my non-food grade stuff. For jewelry, my paintings that I don't have here anymore, they're at the wife's salon hanging. Yeah, I try to use this stuff for that. I did a countertop that's going to be a shampoo bowl. I use this stuff. It's turned out pretty nice. It's got a ways to 72 hours before it dries. And I think it's a week before it cures, but I gotta wait 72 hours before I could drill holes in it. So I've got some molds up here. Trinity over at Blue Collar Homestead sent me some molds because I made some jewelry and sent it to her. She was nice enough to return the favor, I guess, and went over to my Amazon list and bought me these molds and shipped them to me. Really surprised me. So if there's any of this left over after I mix this, I don't like it to go to waste. So I have some jewelry molds over here. Actually, it looks like I got a piece of epoxy in that one for some reason. I'll just stick it back in there and pour over it. But we got hearts and some pretty deep stuff that you'd like put flowers or stuff in, earring molds, so on and so forth. I've got some coasters, some little jewels. These are votive cup candle holders. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. And then I've got a couple ink pens here too that I got set up. I don't know how much extra that I'm going to have, but I've got options. All right. I try to use silicone because once the epoxy dries, it just pops right off and then I could reuse everything. I've got a cup that I forgot to mark, but we are going to be up here at the 80 milliliters is what I'm going to shoot for. So it's going to be 160 total. I'm going to use a little bit on this. With these, I got to put 2 coats on it. So your first coat is really thin and to seal it. And then you wait 72 hours and you put you give it a light sanding, and then you put a second coat on top of it. And your second coat could be like a 1/4 inch thick. For the jewelry, we don't want just clear because, I mean, let's face it, clear is boring, correct? So I thought ahead and I stole some of the wife's nail polish. We're going to mix this in with resin to make that resin red and sparkly. But let's get to mixing here. So you got a part A and a part B with this particular epoxy. You mix 50-50. The part A is really thick like molasses and syrup, so I actually do it second. Oh, gotta get a cup. I left my cup over there. And I don't have a marker over here, do I? I forgot to mark this. I will be back. Sorry about that. But I always come through and I put a line on it. And actually, I put it on 60. So we're just going to go with 30 and 30. But I put a line on here so I don't get mixed up in between the two because I'm kind of forgetful. Plus, it just gives me something to shoot for whenever I'm filling. These are actually going to be clocks. This one might be going to another YouTuber. This one nobody's spoken for yet. I'm not for sure. We talked about it whenever I made it 2 weeks ago. I want to send her a link to this so she sees what's going on because it's been 2 weeks since we've talked. But here we go. Now this epoxy is like $70 a gallon. And I don't know about you, but $70 for me is just a little bit much. So I try to use it extremely sparingly. You know what else I forgot? I left the torch downstairs, so after I get all this on, I'm going to have to go downstairs and get it. But just try to get everything out of your cup because you're going to put part A in the bottom. So you don't have to buy a gallon at a time. And there is some cheaper epoxies at like Home or Hobby Lobby. But this is the cheaper of the stuff when it comes to sealing. There is an $11 can of paint that I'm going to show you probably next week, Gail, that you'll like. I've used it in a couple of my other videos. It's that polyacrylic spray. You could seal your paintings with that too, but you got to let them cure for a while. All right, so I've got that out as much as I can, or actually, I could probably do a better job. Look, I got, what, 4 or 5 more drops? All right. Now, this stuff is thick like molasses. This is part A. The only reason I do part B first is because it's easier to pour. So if I screw up part A, I could pour out part B a lot easier. Because, I mean, look at this stuff. I mean, it's slow, slow, slow. Does anybody else when they're concentrating, they got a bite on their tongue? If you don't got your tongue in the right place, you can't thread the needle, can't get the bolt in the hole. All right. We're going to call that good. Yeah, it's thick. So one thing that I haven't tried yet, whenever I'm mixing this, I'm going to create a lot of bubbles. And that is where I use the torch to bring the air to the surface of the epoxy and to get rid of the bubbles. But I seen in a video where people was using their vacuum chamber and sucking all the air out of that. I do actually have a vacuum tank that I'm going to try that eventually. Baby, hey, how we doing? I'm getting blessed with all these Aussies. So what you've missed at the beginning of this is I got some seeds from Garden Stakes Gardener. Morning, Jake. Nisi over at Freehandly Made. I'm going to put some links in the description a little later on. But she had her 1,000 giveaway. Oh, Jake, like the shirt. And I happened to be a lucky winner of one of Joe from Garden State Gardener's seed packs. I'll show it off in just a second for all you guys just coming in. That's about as much of that as I'm going to get. I got cucumbers and jalapenos and chives and spinach and some yellow bell peppers that I'll be planting really soon. Some big old heads of lettuce, big daddy tomatoes, and then some more other tomatoes. Thank you, Joe. So Jake, I kind of use your hat as like a dinner hat. It's so nice, I don't want it to get dirty. So I use this as a, yeah, you can see what I use this for. But we're going to sit here and we're going to stir this for a long time. We're going to do real nice and slow, because if you whip this, you get a bunch of little bitty air bubbles in it, and they're really hard to pop. But if you just mix it nice and slow, make sure you do a very thorough mix, it turns out pretty good. Well, Jake, you gave me a really nice hat. I really like that style. Eric over there at Greenhorn 1 Acre used the same style hat, and it's really nice. Oh, you're going to send me a work hat? I like work hats. I was kind of scared to wear your shirt today because last week I got paint all over empty homesteads. It did come out, but I was really nervous. So the more that I'm mixing this up, you can see it's getting thinner and runnier. We're going to want a really runny consistency. See if I can let you guys see the bubbles. Now I'm not exactly an extra large sprayer. Well, I wear floppy hats because of the sun down here, so I guess that'd work. I'd have to send a video of me sitting on the tractor wearing that. But I forgot what I was even saying. I've got a couple of these cups down in the bottom or in the basement that I've used so many times. They're like rigid and thick. You can't even squeeze them anymore. Terry, hello. Yep, I'm at it again. Did you see last week I was wearing your shirt and I got paint all over it? Well, we're getting thinner and thinner. We're going to keep mixing, make sure you get everything off of the sides, because that thicker part A of the epoxy likes to stick. I'm going to have to leave you guys for a second. I kind of need that torch. I want to pop some of these bubbles. And the more that you heat this up, the easier it is to mix also. Give you another look at these bubbles. Right back. Sorry, guys. Hopefully that wasn't too unbearable. You got to get my Dollar Tree torch because it does wonders for popping bubbles. So apparently if you leave the torch on this too much, you can burn it. I'm a little bit worried about it, so I don't leave it on there very much, and I have not experienced that yet. Irene, hello. Good morning. How are you today? So what kind of nice stuff are you going to be making today, Irene? You going to be making food or are you going to be doing artsy stuff? Sorry about that. It's getting thinner. Let's pop some more of these bubbles. Cool, cool. Now is diamond art, can you explain it to everybody else? If you want to, that is. Because I think it's pretty interesting. It reminds me of Light Bright, if that is what I'm thinking it is. I've been known to be wrong before. See how thin this is starting to get compared to the thickness that it used to be? We're getting there. So you're burning off all those trees that you took down for your greenhouse, Jake? Jake, I don't think those are the African blood diamonds that they're using there. Don Lee, hello, good morning. Well, we're getting there. It's really, really thin. Well, that sounds pretty cool, Irene. Are you going to be doing that on a live or are you just doing it to be doing it? All right. So I think we are about ready to do this. So now I just need to spread it out, push it into any one of the little divots, and then we're going to hit it with the torch. And after we hit it with the torch, it's going to warm out. It's going to thin up, or become rather thin, I should say. I'm picking it up like this so I could use the light to see where it's at because, you know, clear things are hard to see. But we're going to make sure everything is equally covered. We're going to hit it with the torch to thin it out. The torch will also pop all the bubbles, or at least make the epoxy thin enough that the air will be able to escape it to rise up to the top. So I've got the middle all covered now. I'm going to work my way out to the edge, but I do not want to push it over the edge yet. Because once this stuff starts dripping over the edge, it will not quit. It'll act like a siphon. I don't know how many of you has filled up a water bucket or a water trough, left the hose in it, and then went and unhooked the hose from the water spigot on the house, and then come back a few hours later and your bucket and or trough is empty because you siphoned all the water right back out. But this will work pretty much the same way. and I need to add just a little bit more. I am not happy with my coverage. All right, what I miss? Hey, Mike, No Parts Garage. How we doing? Fishing the dot. It's been a bit. How are you? I bet you it's been at least a month since I've seen you. You're doing good, I hope. Yeah, I think that much will be sufficient. Don't you love my exact measurements on this? But now I'm starting to push it out over the edge. And like I said, this will all level up. Now I did check my table for level again last night. So we should be good there. Now, the very first time I did this, my table wasn't level. Not epoxy, I was doing the flood paint. And just like the siphon and the bucket ordeal, the table wasn't level, so all the paint ran off that side of the canvas. Now, it did look pretty cool, but it wasn't the way it was when I left it, which was a little disappointing, of course. It's a little thick on that end. But I tell you what, for this stuff taking as long as it does to dry, it makes your piece of work, not necessarily art, because not everything is art, but it makes your work look a lot better. This, I should have showed you before how dull it was compared to the way it is now that I've added this epoxy. This should bring out, this should bring out the sparkles. When I painted this, I put some metallic model paint in with my acrylic paint because it had a metallic flake in it. So now that I put this epoxy on there, the metallic flake should come back. Whenever you're doing this epoxy, lighting is a key because you got to use the reflections. If you could get natural sunlight, that's always better. But around here, I will work with whatever I have to work with. All right, there's one of them done. With this epoxy, I have about 30 minutes work time. Good, Irene. I'm glad I'm not the only one that doesn't measure. Yeah, when I mess them up, there's special limited edition. I like that. There's two apples up here. This one's doing real good. The other one not so much. Those both came from the Misfits Market. I bought some food offline, and I literally shoved that in there in a live. I think I was doing, was it a Freaky Food Friday? I ate pineapple and mayonnaise sandwiches with trying to mimic Doug and Kevin. Oh, the Sweet Blue carrying case. No, that's actually the wife's record player. She still listens to records because of the nostalgia, I guess. I wish I could bring you on here, let you see these bubbles just come straight up to the top and pop when I do that. Cool. Thanks for letting me know, Bradley. I don't have very much epoxy left in here. I think we're only going to be able to do maybe an ink pen. We'll see. But once again, we're just going to spread everything out from the middle out. Use the lighting to make sure that we don't miss anything. But with this being the first coat, if you did miss anything, it really is not going to matter, because the second coat is a 1/4 inch thick or an 1/8 inch thick, however thick you want to put it. You could go up to a 1/4. So it's going to fill in any divots, any scratches, any fingerprints because you touched it before it cured. Yeah, I did that one too. All right. She was born in 77, so I'm going to say it was probably the 80s. It does definitely bring out the pop the bubbles are fun. But yes, this definitely brings out the color in the epoxy. You know what? I might not have mixed enough to do even any jewelry. Or just jewelry, not even an ink pen. We'll see here in a minute. Yeah, this epoxy stuff, it's expensive and very time consuming. I've got 3 coats on that old barnwood that I made the shampoo bowl out of. I'll probably end up posting some pictures on Instagram or something about that, because I started making a video about it and then I forgot, and then I started again and then I forgot, and I don't think I have enough footage to make anything make any sense. So it'll just be a post on Instagram and Facebook. I'm sure any of you that's got a YouTube channel that's in here knows exactly what I'm talking about. '77 is a great model. Yes, I won't trade it in, that's for sure. Gail, so Doug over there at His Way Homestead was doing a series that Kevin from Lazy Pond Farm was helping out with, called Freaky Food Friday. And I don't know where Doug got the list, but he had a list of a bunch of freaky foods like uh, mayonnaise and pineapple sandwich. There was peanut butter and pickle sandwich, ketchup and popcorn. I mean, there's some really weird stuff. I tried to, when I could, I tried to play along with I invented the play at home Freaky Food Friday game. So basically, they said what it was. I made a video beforehand, let Doug do his live, and then I published my video a little later. It was pretty fun. At that point in time, I didn't have good enough access to even go live. Doug asked me to come up on a few different occasions, but it was before I had my Wii Boost, and I was able to use my cell phone like I am now for these lives. Well, I think I've almost made it around. Yep, looks like I've made it around. Oh, no. There we go. There's a reason why we got to use the lighting. I did not make it around. All right. Can everybody say fire? Fire, fire. Oh, Doug had the viewers come up with it. No, it wasn't that bad, was it? Struggler's Farm. Is this Hey Boy or Dad? But whoever it is, thanks for stopping by. Well, so over the next few hours, all this epoxy is just going to kind of blend into each other, and want to have a nice thin coat of basically glass. Here's the story. Up at the salon, the paintings that I did with this epoxy on it, it literally looks like glass. I guess we're going to have to wash all the paintings now because I got so many fingerprints from everybody touching them, trying to figure out what it is. I don't know about you, but I thought that was pretty funny. All right, so I think we have close to enough epoxy on here. We need to get the epoxy out of this cup and into this one so I could color it with fingernail polish. I stole some of the wife's fingernail polish. I'm glad he's having coffee with Grandma. That's good. And I'm sure she feeds him well. That's what Grandma used to do to me, is feed me well. All right. I think it needs just a little bit more leveler. That'll work. I need a stirring stick, and I don't have any. Ah, I'm stuck. Got me a spoon. Oh, one thing that I've learned with epoxy is use silicone or plastic. Do not use wood because it seems to insert air bubbles into it for some reason. I don't see how or why, but it does. Oh, I got a lot more epoxy in here than what I thought I did. So I got about a half a cup of this epoxy. I better get caught up on chat. Bradley, see ya. I'm sure you're gone already, but see ya. Um, 13 quail eggs in 10 days, huh? Oh, that's cool. He didn't have to do that. Well, handmade shirt. Or he made a shirt for me. That is cool. Oh yeah. So we got clear epoxy. I stole some of my wife's fingernail polish. It's not like that she doesn't have any because she is a nail tech, but we'll put like, oh, we need more, right? More's better. So there's what that looks like. Just good old fingernail polish. We're going to stir it up. Apparently this is going to make like a reddish pink colored. Unless I put more fingernail polish in there, it's going to stay a pink apparently. Add some heat, thin it out. Add some heat to get rid of those bubbles. Nothing like playing with fire, right? All right, well, I do not think I have enough to fill one of these. I don't think I have enough to fill this mold. I could probably get a coaster, but I don't want to go there. I got these little diamonds. I don't think I want to do that. We are going to bring this jewelry mold over here. But I think what I'm going to do is an ink pen. So with these ink pens, down on this nub, the end, there's a nub that goes in the end here. You just kind of stick that in there and you poke it in there and your ink just kind of hovers in the middle of your silicone or thing here. Oh, let's see if I can move this without making a mess. So we're just going to lay that flat and we're going to try to scoop it in this mold and not make very big of a mess. So what do you guys think about that? That's going to be an ink pen in a few days. A red ink pen. So let's do some earrings. How about some red hearts? Maybe I should have put this in a candle mold. There's a lot more in there than what I thought. We'll do a bunch of earrings. Oh. So where are we at? Dang. See you, Jake. Don't let any of those birds get you. Yeah, fire's always fun. Yeah, I was telling your boy whenever he's playing with the bonfires that he plays with them too much, he's gonna piss the bed. At least that's what my grandma always told me. You know what? Screw it. We're going to make a two-tone version of this. So the first layer is going to be red, and then we're going to let it dry. And then the next time I play with this epoxy, and like tomorrow, I'll mix a different color in it and we'll just layer these, because putting this in this mold right now is not what I want to do. So I'm sure you guys don't want to see me sit there and concentrate to fill this mold. All right, there's where we stand. We're going to get one coat on 2 records, 1 ink pen, just a little bit on this here mold. We're going to get 1 set of square earrings, 1 set of heart earrings, and 1 set of little round earrings. I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's what we got. Those gloves are getting hot. So where are we at? So has anybody get any big plans for this weekend? Big parties, concerts, anything like that? I know I have a little bit of work that I need to do out in the garage to finish a cabinet. I got to go up to the salon, and I know I need to finish working on the lawnmower. Gathered Together Homestead. Hello, how are we doing? I'll tell you what, you got a good, strong worker there. I know I didn't have that much gumption when I was that age. I could really care less about things like what I'm doing now. I'm a totally different person. But so for all of you guys that are coming in now, is Gail's going to be working with yarn and in the yard. So speaking of working with yarn, Gail's sister-in-law, Nisi, over at Freehandly Made Âû, she had a giveaway because she reached 1,000 subscribers, and I was lucky enough to be a winner. Now, she's such a nice person. She had tons of people donate stuff. Garden Joe over at Garden State Gardener was one of the people that donated, and I was lucky enough to win what Joe was donating. Man, he's got one hell of a garden. You guys are doing amazing. I'm going to promote that again here in a little bit. But yeah, I got some cucumbers that I've never had, some jalapenos that I'll probably give away, some chives for next year, some spinach for next year, some bell peppers for in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and start those. Some big old heads of lettuce, some Big Daddy hybrid tomatoes, and some sand something, whatever that is, word other tomato. But yeah, that was nice enough to win this package from Joe, and I'm definitely going to put it into good use. Ooh, that epoxy is not going down into that tip of that pen. We'll have to play with that here in a little bit, but I gotta get this epoxy off of me first. Tell you what, wet wipes has been my friend for the last 6 months. I bet you I went through 30 packs of these things. Oh, hey, for all of you guys that don't know Struggler's Farm and you're a gardener, go check out what Hey Boy did. That garden that boy did last year, just all the farm work that he does. Go check him out. he's put in a lot of videos in the past year, and he's done a lot of work, and I'm amazed for such a young kid doing such great work. Yes, Gail, they are good seeds. I'm all sticky. Shouldn't have touched this epoxy without my gloves on. I know what I'm missing. Fire. Fire fixes everything, right? It even melts my trash bag that I got on the table. All right, guys. I'm sure it's been close to an hour. I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish for the morning. I got to talk with all you lovely people. I didn't not, at least I don't think I ruined this shirt, so we're good there. I've done my mail opening. I'm going to go plant some seeds, and I guess I'll see you all next time. I appreciate you all, and remember, smile while you still have teeth. Be safe. See you all next time.